We saw that the pin can be very powerful, both as a way to win material by piling up on the pinned piece, or as a way to attack utilizing the temporary paralysis of a defender. Now we explore the latter theme a little more deeply. In chess, we don't just aim at our goals. Often we want to remove what is preventing us from achieving our goals. Let's check out some examples. It turns out that in this innocuous-looking position, white is completely winning. How? Whenever you look at a chess position, you should first notice the dramatic elements of the situation: material inequalities, possible checks, captures, or potential for tactics. Here we see that white's queen and bishop are lined up as a battery, aimed at the b7 pawn in black's camp. The black knight on d6 is defending the pawn. Our immediate instinct in such situations should always be to get rid of the defender. The knight on d6 is the only piece that's holding black's position together. Whenever one piece has such a grave responsibility, it becomes vulnerable to attack because it can't defend itself actively due to being completely consumed with the defensive responsibility. Given that setup, what should white play? Good move. Knight f5 forks the black queen and the only piece that defends mate. The knight clearly can't capture on f5 because queen takes b7 would be mate, but after the queen moves, for example queen g6, then after knight takes d6 check, white's next move will be queen takes b7 checkmate. White will win the game. Now we're combining some tactical themes. Black to move and win material. Very good. Queen takes b3. A fantastic sacrifice. It's only temporarily sacrificing the queen though. If white doesn't recapture, then black has just won a knight for free. And after rook takes b3, then rook a1 check, a powerful skewer. King d2, rook takes h1 wins back the queen, and black comes out a knight ahead. So, we always want to notice potential tactics, what defends those tactics, and how we can remove the defensive idea. Now, once again with the aim of avoiding mechanical thinking, let's look at a variant of the last position. Here, once again, it's black's move. Does queen takes b3 still work? This one might be a little tough to spot, but it turns out that white can turn the tables here. After queen takes b3, it's white to move. Find the best move. Good work. Rook d8 check, a fantastic sacrifice that wins material by removing the attacker. Okay, this is the logic of the position. The black queen is hanging, but is indirectly defended by the rook on a8, which is about to deliver the powerful skewer rook a1 check. So the question is, in this precarious moment, can white throw a wrench into black's plans? The solution to this problem brings up another critical tactical device called the in-between move, also known by its German name, Zwischenzug. In the middle of the tactics, white throws in the Zwischenzug, rook d8 check, and suddenly he's forced the removal of the attacker, who is just the key component of a tactic based on removing the defender. Black has to capture the rook. Knight e8 doesn't change anything after rook takes e8. So, rook takes d8, and now white can take the queen without getting skewered on a1. C takes b3, and white has won some material instead of losing a knight. So remember, you aren't the only one looking for tactics in a chess game. Many positions involve complicated combinations of exchanges like the one in the last position, and now you're learning to navigate through that jungle. Here it's white's move. Should white play rook takes b5? The answer is a resounding no. The idea is good, removing the defender of the back rank, but unfortunately the tactics don't work because of another in-between move. Rook takes b5 attempts to remove the defender of the back rank, but black can win material. Do you see how? f5 check, a powerful Zwischenzug, makes Luft for the black king in checks. Makes Luft in chess means opening up breathing room for the king so you don't get stuck in the back rank. f5 check frees up the f7 square for the black king, he can escape. White takes the pawn, king takes f5, and then black can take the rook, rook takes b5, and after rook e8 check, there's the open escape route, king f7. Once again, always look for tricky in-between moves when you're calculating tactics. I'm showing these exceptions because it's very important for us to learn how to defend and attack with and from these tactical weapons. Also, once again, we should never tire of looking for subtle wrinkles in the position that may reverse the fate of the game. Such possibilities are much of the beauty and excitement of chess. Now, back to some pure removing the defender problems. Here it's black's move. What should you do? You got it! Rook takes f3, sacrificing the exchange to remove the defender of a powerful forking square. White recaptures, g takes f3. Now what? Well done. Bishop d4 check. And next, after bishop takes a7, black has won a piece. Again, whenever you see pieces lined up on a diagonal or a straight line, your spider sense should go off. Where are the forks, pins, skewers? Here white has the tempting option of just munching on the a6 pawn, rook a6 check. This is a free pawn, but there's better. It's white to move here. Find your best move. Very good. d5. At once opening up a discovered attack on the bishop on f4 and removing its defender, the knight on e6. White will win a piece here. Now you're getting used to combining tactical ideas. It's black to move here. What do you think? Good move. Queen takes f3 check. An excellent sacrifice. Now g takes f3. What's your best move? Knight d2 check. Now the king moves and knight takes b3. Black has won a piece. So you're sacrificing your queen to remove the defender of a critical forking square. Black to move here. Now, this might be the hardest problem you've run into so far, but the answer is logical and you can get it. Take your time and enjoy the challenge. Remember, first notice your biggest potential threats, then notice what's defending against that threat. In this particular problem, you have to go one step further. You have to then notice how you can potentially remove the defender, but there is a defender stopping your attempt to remove the defender. So finally, you have to figure out how to remove the defender that is preventing you from removing the defender. Don't move until you see it. Black wants to play queen takes g2 mate, but white's queen on f1 is defending the square. We want to get rid of that queen. Any ideas? Ideally, it would be nice to play bishop e2, because that would win the queen. But the white knight on c3 guards the e2 square. So the aim of our tactic is to get rid of the c3 knight. Now try to get it. Excellent work. Knight b5, forking the white rook on a7 and the knight on c3, which at this point is worth the queen because of the imminent threat of bishop e2, removing the defender of the g2 square. So queen takes b5 is impossible because of queen takes g2 mate. If knight takes b5, then bishop e2 will win the queen because it can't move. If white moves the rook, then knight takes c3 followed by bishop e2 will win the queen or mate. So white will have to defend the mate and give up lots of material in the process. Knight b5 is a great move that makes perfect sense when you think backwards in the position. Notice your goal, and then figure out how to get there. I'll discuss this manner of thinking more deeply in part 3, where we go into chess strategy. So don't worry if you didn't get this problem right. The idea is to learn from wrestling with real challenges. Now you're really experiencing what chess is all about.